So I've been on a high-fat vegan diet for 5 months now, and I got some blood tests. They were in high demand. How dare you? Don't look at my fatty blood. You son of a bitch.
For the animals.
So the results are in. I switched doctors. The reason I was waiting so long is because my old doctor charges $50 to get a printout. And so for the past many years going to him, I've been writing down, he'd let me write down a few key numbers, and I felt like he was rushing me, and I hate this guy. He does not care about me. He'll test my blood pressure and be like, oh yeah, it's fine, 120/80, bullshit. I've tested my blood pressure so many times with my own device, with those devices in the grocery stores. It's never been 120/80 ever. So it was time I got a new doctor, and I wanted to wait a good amount of time to make sure you could see the difference between my high carb and high fat days. What happened to me after 5 months eating, I tell you, I eat less than 100 grams of carbs a day. I have a green juice. I fast 21 hours a day. I break it with the green juice. I usually have a smoothie, which is just like a cup or two of berries and flax seeds, and then a big salad with the nut yogurts and lots of salty goodness, olives or sun-dried tomatoes. It's a delicious diet. I feel great, but some of these results scare the shit out of me. Seriously, what? So I'm a little afraid, and anybody who's a blood expert, let me know your thoughts down below on my crazy numbers here. So let's get into it. So all this hemoglobin shit, that all looks normal. All the white blood cell count, everything's in range. When you scroll down, absolute newts, my newts are a little high. And let me explain what's happening. I got a tooth infection. Let me explain this one. Some of you may remember a couple months ago I said berries are dead to me, and there's a whole video coming. I found when I was on a high carb diet, I lost one of my crowns. I don't know if you can see it. I got a huge silver crown here, and I had one here, but it fell off. So underneath, the tooth is just dead. It's shaved down, and it was useless. I was gonna get a crown replacement, but I just said screw it. But the tooth in front, which was raised up a little higher than this stupid shaved down tooth, I guess hadn't seen use in years, and it cracked after. I didn't even notice it. I just felt it with my tongue one day. So I guess I swallowed some tooth. There's your calcium. So I should have got it fixed right away, but I didn't. And every month or so it would flare up and my gums would get really sensitive and sore. And so I even made a video showing how I deal with that. I spray the colloidal silver in my mouth, and then it dies down, it kills the bacteria. Well, when I went on this high-fat diet, that went away completely. I felt like I could eat anything. My teeth were immune to all life. And I was just like, that's the key. That's the key to all tooth pain. And then I started adding berries back into my diet, and the tooth pain started flaring up again. So I was like, that's it, fruit. Fruit if you have any cavities or tooth problems, fruit is gonna fuck you. And why did I have to swear? I'm so sorry, grandmothers. You should form an alliance. So I thought I had it all figured out, but I don't feel good completely eliminating the fruit. I need some carbs. We need some carbs. The brain needs 120 grams a day or so. So you can get it from fat and protein if you eat a lot of protein, but I don't think that's healthy for the kidneys. And so I wanted to have some fruit, and it's been flaring up, and it will not heal this time. I don't know why. It's swollen. I might have to get the tooth pulled, and that's gonna suck. I've never had a tooth pulled in my life. I don't want to go down that route and admit defeat, but I feel like I have to do something, or my whole body is just gonna get infected and I'm gonna die. So I don't know. I want to get the implant, the titanium implant, because once you remove a tooth, the jawline starts deteriorating, and then you get that sucked in look. I might do the whole replacement like Durian Rider one day. I don't know. I kind of want it, but it's such a awful looking surgery. So sorry to get off track, but that's why my blood cell counts, those are all immune system fighting this infection. So that's what I believe that and some of my other numbers are pointing towards. So let's moving along. So my urine was nice and straw and clear, and it had gravity, which is nice. I hate when my urine floats. That is God. pH was 5, a little acidic, but let's keep in mind that I'm fasting 21 hours a day here. This was after, I think I took the test roughly 1 p.m. So I had fasted a good 20 hours already, or close to that. Not even close to that, but whatever, go fuck yourself. But I had been active, I'm on the bike, I'm doing some housework, and the body creates acids like that, and I'm like in ketosis. As you can see, I had 2 ketones in my body. So that to them is high, but to me, I know that's normal because that's what my body's using as fuel, and ketones are acidic. So I do believe that's what made my urine acidic. And Dr. Morse says you want your urine to be acidic, not this acidic, that's a little bit, I think he says around 6 is good. But if you have alkaline urine, that just tells you you're losing your alkaline minerals. And that's not what you want. You want to be peeing out acids and toxins, and that's a good thing. So I think I might be a little on the wrong side of this equation, but that's what happened. I cut that awkwardly. So awkward. Now the alarm. My first alarm bell of this blood test. I had blood in my urine and 0.3 whatevers. And it's like, that should be 0. You should never have blood in your urine. My problem, I think it's my bladder. My bladder has been sore since I was like 17 years old. This happened before I got the colitis. It was my bladder that hurt the most. And it's just been this chronic pain in the bladder, fiery urine of death. And I do believe it's interstitial cystitis. I've never been diagnosed, but it doesn't really matter. Inflammation of the bladder. It's not a bladder infection. I've tried all the cranberry and D-mannose stuff. It doesn't do shit. So certain foods irritate it. Too much lemon, too much ginger and other spices. So it's been annoying and it's been irritating me, because once I break my fast with a big green juice and then a smoothie and a salad, I'm peeing so many times in this time span. It's such an awkward diet because I'm not peeing that much during the day, and then it's just a floodgate and it hurts. And I haven't been able to figure out what is causing it, what is hurting me so much. It was worse on the fruit diet, but it's still bad now, and I'm worried that if you keep having chronic pain like that, that will develop into cancer one day. So I do not want bladder cancer. So I'm a little worried, and I'm not sure what to do about it. I don't know what the best diet for interstitial cystitis is, because it's awkward. The best diet for colitis is a fruit-based one, but that fruit really irritates the bladder. So it's always been so hard. This is why I've struggled so much, because I've had the colitis issues and the bladder, and they're both so different. What the hell's a man to do? So it's been a struggle, and I got a test again when I went in for the results, and he said, let's check it again, because he's seen this before. He said not to worry about it, and the nurse said the same thing. It's like, if there's no longer blood in the next test, then you're fine. To me, that's an alarm bell, and I could have like a kidney stone in there. Could be my kidneys or my bladder not happy with this diet, and that scares me. One thing about my urine, I don't know if I've been having that problem for a long time, because my old doctor, it almost felt like he didn't even look at my blood test. He just looked at me and thought, here's a young man, he's healthy, whatever. So I could have had this problem for a while and I don't even know about it. And before anybody jumps to the conclusion that it's the ketosis and the ketones that are just bad for the kidneys, and that's why I'm like bleeding from the kidneys, I don't think that's true, because there's a group on Facebook called the Master Fast, And basically it's very similar to Dr. Morse's protocol, only in order to get the kidneys to finally filter, for those of us who have had that problem, I still don't filter very good. They go on a dry fast. So dry fasting for days at a time, no water, no nothing, they are all up in some ketones. So ketone city in those bodies, and their kidneys regenerate and heal. So it can't be the ketones. Ketones, we produce them all the time from body fat. It's a very natural thing. An animal-based ketogenic diet, I think, damages the kidneys just because the animal products are so acidic. It's the protein, it's not necessarily the ketones generated from burning fat as fuel. So I think ketones are fine, and even if I go on a high carb diet, I fast 21 hours a day, I'm going to be producing ketones, hopefully. So, to be concluded at another time. So moving along, my glucose, they say it's low, but that is just perfect for a high fat dieter who fasts all the time. And I'm using ketones and sugar, so I'm happy with that. Creatinine, this was actually a welcome change. You do not want your creatinine to go above 0.6. I think 0.5 is even better. Doctors have this one so wrong. They say it's fine to be like 1.2. They are so stupid in this area. I'm sorry, doctors, you have not studied the kidneys and the lymphatic system like Dr. Morse has. And basically, creatinine, it's something your kidneys will remove if they're filtering properly. And this will start raising as your kidneys get clogged up and they're damaged. So creatinine is a good kidney function number. So Dr. Morse says 0.6, not great. 0.7, you're creeping up there. 0.8, you're losing your kidneys. 0.9, forget about it. So my numbers used to be 0.86. So I was right up there with like kidney disease levels. And I'm happy to say it's lowered down to 0.75. So I'm getting there. My kidneys are actually healing on this diet, it feels like, except for the blood part. That's the paradox is real in that one. I don't understand how like this number can be better, but I could have blood possibly and like deteriorating kidneys and I'm about to die. I don't get it. My EGFR, nobody knows what that means. Extra girlfriend rights. All my sodium, potassium, everything seemed fine. We didn't test iron, we forgot. I really wanted to know what my iron levels were. Forgot all about it. Now the numbers everybody's been waiting for, my cholesterol. So, very interesting results. My cholesterol used to be 4.1. You'll have to convert. I did the conversion for this one, but basically 4.1, decent cholesterol. It was like 160-ish. Right now, my cholesterol is 4.05. 156.61 in your American numbers. So I'm right there. I mean, that's pretty much heart attack proof. The Dr. Esselstyn says get it below 150 and you're heart attack proof. I'm right there, and I've always been there. I'm converting all these to the American numbers because I figure hardly any of my audience is even Canadian, so what's the point? My triglycerides are 83.25, so those are like perfect. Interesting, because I'm on such a high fat diet, you'd think the triglycerides, the fatty blood, that's all the fatty blood, is not high because my body's using it as fuel instead of just gathering there. I've seen people on high carbs with much worse triglycerides than this, so I'm happy with that. My HDL 41.37. It's in normal range. It sounds low. I don't know if it's really low, but it's up there. Do we really need it? If your cholesterol is that low, do we need high HDL? I don't think so. My cholesterol to HDL ratio is 3.8. My LDL cholesterol is 98.6. So I think I'm right there. I think, what does Vegan Gain say? It's like 70 to 90, you're heart attack proof. And I'm right there. I'm knocking on the door. I'm not sure if they'll let me in on this high fat diet. but nothing is alarming here. So all cholesterol numbers are good, and in my opinion, this next number ties very much into cholesterol and inflammation. I got my C-reactive protein tested. This is my second alarm bell. I've never got this tested before. I suffered for so many years with literally an inflammatory bowel disease. So inflammation has been my life, and I've been trying to get it down, and I wish I measured this before. My doctor always said, oh, that's a stupid test. And I don't think it is. And right now, my inflammation looks really high. It's 7.38. And let's dive into this one. It should be less than 1. And I'm inflamed as a bitch. So I have a couple theories here. One, my tooth infection. Bad time to get a blood test. That's obviously my gums are inflamed. I don't know if that fully accounts for it. Some might say my omega-6 rich diet is doing it. It could be. I don't know. I didn't get numbers before to compare on my fruit-based diet, so I don't know. And I made that whole video about omega-6. It doesn't cause inflammation, you stupid. I've never seen research suggesting that raw nuts and seeds cause inflammation. All the studies saying omega-6 is bad is on cooked, refined vegetable oils high in omega-6, and those are terrible for you. And so we relate all omega-6 to that, and you shouldn't eat high omega-6, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to this because there is no studies. We're not working together as a species and studying the right things that need to be studied. Plant foods, we already know animal foods suck. So we need to study this stuff. And I don't know, all I know is my inflammation is really high. I can feel it in my gut. I can feel it in my bladder, my tooth. That's about it. My hip is, for years, it's been like out of place, pinching on a nerve. So that could be contributing to this. So this is not good. Inflammation is key to life. That's what I've been trying to do for so many years, is get that inflammation down. And I feel like this diet is helping, but I don't know what that number was before. So I might go on, like in the summer, do a fruit-based diet, see if that brings it down. I'm not sure, but that's an alarm bell and it has me worried. I'm so sorry if I can be wrong sometimes. I'll never lie to you, I promise. But I can be wrong, I'm a human being. And I've never seen studies showing that omega-6 in raw nuts and seeds are bad. But in my body they seem to be. I can't tell for sure what's causing the inflammation, but inflammation is happening in my body. And I'm sorry if my advice is ever bad or ever hurts anybody, but usually I just get compliments on people trying, oh, I feel so much better doing this. So we gotta listen to our bodies, listen to the science, then experiment. That's my whole thing. I mean, people think I'm anti-science. I'm not. I'm just, so many studies get things wrong. Imagine you're studying my blood. You might come to the conclusion that omega-6 does cause inflammation, but it might be completely unrelated to that. It could just be this tooth infection caused by the berries. So we don't know. Scientists get things wrong. That's not what this video is about. My B12 is 233. Normal range for this, but every naturopath I've ever talked to has said you want it up around 500. I've not been able to raise it. Back in 2015 it was 280. It was actually higher before. It was 190 in 2010. So I have not been able to get it up to 500. I would die at 5,000. So I might start supplementing more heavily and see if that changes it, but usually I took methylcobalamin. Now I just switched to cyano, just to test it, see if it's different. And so far it doesn't seem to be, but I take like 1,000 milligrams once or twice a week. I might start doing it daily, just flood my body with it and see if I can get those levels up, because I know I'll feel like a superhero if I have 500 B12. So that's the goal. My TSH, 245. I think that's good. What was it last year? 4.22 last year, and that was, my doctor was telling me, not my doctor, the naturopath that I saw actually looked at these tests and they were like, that's hypothyroid. So I have managed to reverse that on this high fat, low carb diet, which people were saying I would get hypothyroid. I'm an idiot. So it's reversing. I haven't been eating any iodine rich foods because the nori gives me gas and I'm just like, fuck all that shit. So it is reversing. I think I could get it lower still to be ideal. Below 2 I think is like perfect, but it's standard, like it's within range here, but doctors, they don't know a lot. This is like general population numbers, so they compare it to everybody and they're wrong as shit. My vitamin D was alarmingly low, 26.8 nanograms per mother liter. That's low, man. I mean, even in the Canadian numbers, it should be 75 to 250. I was 67. I forget what the American number should be, but it should be above 50, I think, and I'm at 26. So my vitamin D, I take like once or twice a week, 3,000 milligrams, but it's expired for like 2 years. So I think I should get a new bottle and just start slamming it in like 5,000 milligrams a day. And I mean, let's face it, I live in Canada, I never go out. And when I do go out, it's on my bike to get groceries and I'm like covered head to toe. So I never see the sun for like 7 months of the year. So it's no shit that I'm low, and I should be taking the supplements more serious come winter time, so I will be doing that. And we'll see. That should raise. So I will do these blood tests again in a year, maybe 6 months even, and see what kind of numbers I can improve here. So I imagine this video is getting pretty long, and it's been interesting to see. I mean, I've never felt better in my life. The mental clarity, the energy, I'm able to put on muscle. I don't understand how some of these numbers can be so bad. It's just weird. I don't get it. And I'm a little worried continuing with the high fat diet just because of the inflammation. I'm wondering, like, is omega-6 in nuts causing this inflammation? I balance it with the omega-3s. I have at least 2 tablespoons of flax seeds a day. But with the nut yogurt, especially when I go on the sunflower seeds, super high omega-6. And maybe we're not designed to eat this way. I mean, common sense, nuts, you gotta crack them. That's hard work. It would take me forever. There's no way I could do this diet if I had to crack the nuts myself. That's number one. I imagine in a tribe of people, if you had us all working together, some people gathering nuts, bunch of people cracking them, bunch of people fermenting them. I mean, this could be done. That would be easier than going out and hunting. It can be done. It's a viable diet, but I have my worries, and the digestion just does not seem to improve at all. I can flush things out with magnesium and my Cascara Sagrada, but it feels like I'm dependent on it. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do from here on in. 5 months in, some alarm bells were sounded, and I still have a ton of nuts in the freezer and the fridge, so I'm definitely gonna keep on going till those are out. But I don't know, I might switch back to high carb. I might try. I mean, a lot of people have been asking me, are the benefits I'm feeling just because of the intermittent fasting, or is it because of the high fat diet? The only way for me to know that is to do the intermittent fasting with the high carb diet. So it is something I'm curious to do. It's just, I'm in the worst city in the world for fruit, at least at this time. Summertime, it's doable, but I don't know. It's such a non-enjoyable diet. The diet I'm on right now tastes so good. These salads with the saltiness, it's so delicious. I would hate to give it up, and my skin clears up. As soon as I go back on high carb, I'm gonna start breaking out again. So I don't know. I'm in a world of lost souls. I got a lot of reflecting to do. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of my blood test results? Is my cholesterol too high? Why am I inflamed? Was I wrong? Omega-6, I'm sorry if I was wrong, but I haven't seen the science, so let me know your thoughts on this video, what I should do. I mean, I think I know what I'm gonna do, but it's always nice to hear people's opinions. And was this diet a fail? Was my crazy high-fat diet a fail? Nobody is doing this. Why am I doing it? I don't know. So my battery is flashing, and I'm not sure how long this one gives me. So I think we're gonna end it. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. And there he is, and this is me now. So let me know if you see a difference, and if you don't, get your fucking eyes checked, you eyeless eye boy. Look at that. I mean, there is difference. I see it, I feel it. That guy couldn't do shit. He could do like 6 pull-ups. Now I'm tripling that in one go. I feel like this protocol works even though it shouldn't.